Haydos. Absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast, mate.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for being here. It's going to be a good chat, I think. I'm excited.
Yeah, so I think this episode could go for 6 hours. All some of the awesome stuff that you've done. I'm keen to explore everything, all your, as we were saying before we went on air, you got your finger in a whole host of different pies. So it'd be awesome and intriguing to listen to. I'm sure the listeners will be keen to hear about what you've been up to and all your experiences that no doubt many of the listeners again have viewed on TV, as well as maybe get their finger in some of your recipes and had a look at some of your cookbooks. So yeah, you're a man who wears many hats, and I think that's quite literal. On MasterChef,
It is very literal.
always got a new cap on. And just sticking your head up on MasterChef, I remember. You always remembered you as that guy with that cap. Is there anything about that? Have you got any quirks or?
It's actually quite funny because a lot of people, people either are right into the hat or they're just totally just like, oh, what are you wearing a hat for? You look like a dickhead with your hat on backwards. I'm like, well, the reason I wear the hat is because when you're cooking, you have your head down, and when you got long hair, it hangs in your face. And it's just a bit of a hygiene, a little bit of a, make things a bit neater and tidier. I could wear a little I don't know, I guess a tennis headband or something that would work. But no, the hat seems to do the trick, and it just holds it all together. But lately I've been trying to not wear the hat as much, just to let the locks free and see how we go. But no, the hat it's purely just to keep the hair in out of the eyeballs.
I think it's got a almost gives you some sort of symbolism to it. You as the chef with the cap kind of thing. Also, I guess it hasn't really done too much damage too, because you won Clio Bachelor a year 2012, didn't you? So it's a bit of a claim to fame there. I don't think the cap and the look's doing too bad. So
I got the big mo on at the moment. It's not even November. I'm just rocking the mo for
started early.
Yeah, the missus actually enjoys it, so I have to pull it out every now and again to keep her happy.
Good stuff, mate. But yeah, diving into, I guess, what we're going to discuss today. So it's awesome to have you on the NORMLESS podcast. I've been meaning to get you on for some time. I've been really keen on the endeavors that you're pursuing. But you're a great example of a NORMLESS individual. Your values truly align with your pursuits, and the integrity of your work shines through. And your parents did a great job naming you at birth, mate.
Yeah, I know. Matching twins over here.
But it all kind of started back when you were 22. So you were, I guess, lifeguarding. You had your lifeguard certificate at the age of 22. You're working on the northern beaches. I remember sometimes I'd, coming up from Freshie Beach, I'd see you up there sitting on the headland. And that's kind of when it all started. You had that love for the outdoors, and you loved cooking with your mum back then.
Yeah, as you know, growing up on the northern beaches, it's all about the beach, being outside, connected to nature, the ocean, and it's a pretty healthy lifestyle that we all live on the beaches. Whether you're playing footy or surfing or running or netball or whatever it may be, there's plenty on. And yeah, I was lucky to grow up with a very loving family, mum and dad and my two sisters. We grew up in DY, and mum was always around food. She taught home economics at TAFE. She worked developing recipes, writing recipes, all sorts of stuff when I was a kid. So we were always around good food. There was always plenty of food on the dinner table, and mum was one of those people that could just I guess create something out of nothing, which is a pretty awesome skill, and I feel like one that I've sort of picked up along the way as well. It's always good when you got a semi-empty pantry or fridge and you can still rip out a dish or two and keep the belly full. But yeah, I was one of those kids that just always hung out in the kitchen, I guess, and I'd be constantly asking questions and always very curious. And I think that curiosity really led to the love of food and, learning about recipes and how things work. And there was a real science behind it as well, I think, that I got excited by, and I actually went on to study marine biology at university not straight out of high school, but had a year off, went to the US, lifeguarded over in America, went to uni, studied marine biology. I got offered an opportunity to do a little bit more study after uni, and I thought, oh yeah, that sounds great, but I'm going to go away again, go overseas and do some more lifeguarding and chill out, and then I'll come back and do that. And I never went back to uni, just kept working on the beach. It's too good of a life cycle, the old too good of a lifestyle, sorry, that working on the beach. It's an endless summer. And then yeah, gosh, over nearly, what is it, 11, 12 years ago now, the whole MasterChef thing happened. And that's when everything changed quite drastically and quite quickly as well. You know, you go from working on the beach lifeguarding, which is pretty good job, lots of fun, good lifestyle, good people, lots of sun, surf, and then boom, like I was on MasterChef on TV with the red hat on and cooking away. And it's, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I didn't know you could cook. And yeah, cooking for me was something that I always, I guess, did in the background. It was about fueling the body and keeping fit, keeping healthy. And I always loved cooking for other people. And I think the main thing for me with food was that story you can tell. I've got vivid memories of like some of the travel we've done. Me and my mate Dan, who worked on the beach with me as well, we used to do a heap of traveling all through Europe and Asia and South America, Central America. And it was a great opportunity to meet people and communicate through food. Like, even if you can't speak the same language, you can still share a meal and sort of just talk through that food and that creation of food. And that sort of passion continues on today through what I do with Taste of Australia and TV stuff and telling stories through food. But it's a bit of a long journey to get to where we are today.